Welcome to a zerok 1 versus 1 between Izirayd in the red with spiders versus in the blue Hjkia with things. Engineer commander for them, just for Kadachi with just a Kadachi blueprint versus Izirayd over here with venom blueprint, so also nothing special with spiders. It's on a Falendel map with the river going through the middle. A bit of an interesting map, especially with their early maxes. 3.5 technically. Metal each, so incredibly good for overdrive. Map where you would often see people go for a couple more wind generators at the start, or solos, just to get that extra little bit of overdrive, rather than having to go to another max immediately. All of the other maxes 2.0 each, so also very good. Like, standard, good. And scouting fleas, already very nice. Able to see into the enemy base. And you have two of them. That makes you unpredictable, because then they, well, are especially unlikely to see. However, yeah, Kadachi. Rating number 1, rating done. And Venom 190, Kadachi only 170. Still though, 2 Kadachis versus just 1 Venom. You cannot move out on that side. And I wonder if it would have been good to just take your commander that way. Going to be reclaiming a bit over here. A little bit of energy, which I do find strange. It does of course help you through overdrive, but not directly in your metal. Even though this is a map where you have quite a lot of reclaim in metal as well. 100 there, another 100, 200, not sure how much it is in total. Yeah, 310 metal in total to reclaim. And northern side, that's the same thing. All 4 corners have that. So yeah, it is a map where reclaim is very good. Kadachis are on half fire, very nice. Have to watch out a little bit with the cliff there though. Because if they get stuck up against the cliff, then the Venoms can quite easily move, close the gap. Lotus, normally of course a very nice thing to have next to your mechs and all that. Well, for one, Kadachi has a bit of AoE, so having it this close is not ideal anyways. And Kadachi is strong enough that a singular Lotus is really not going to do a whole lot, unless it's already a damaged Kadachi. And Kadachi's on hold fire, so Venoms are not able to get in close, unless they turn around and they make a mistake and they clean up Kadachi number 1. Kadachi number 2, 3, 4 are over here, are able to clean up another Venom, or like a Venom. So hey, 1 Lotus, I say, is not enough against Kadachi, let alone 3 of them. Izirayd completely stuck in their base, at least on the northern side. Down south, commander is just happy expanding, nothing there. And over here, well, heavily damaged Kadachis. Yeah, you sit in the fire a bit, but hey. Attrition, 86% for Hjkia. Fight over here, actually good. What is he at? At the same time, moving in on the other side, are able to traverse the terrain better over here. Kadachi slowing, or like, tank slows down a lot. Assuming of course you are going to try and move up, and you do. So you can run away from the blitz quite easily, even though it is normally outspeeding you. Down the cliff, and you have an even bigger advantage, which you're not doing, so you're likely going to die anyways. Assuming the blitz is able to fire back, which it does, and like, yeah, it's a slow matchup, a very slow matchup, Venom versus Blitz, stunning each other the entire time. But the Venom able to live on just 20 HP. Here, Lotus does indeed cover, just barely. Too bad, Fleas, oh, able to sneak in, actually. Just did not really have the angle with the Lotus. Meaning that 1 max is going down. After that, of course, Flea is cleaned up. But hey, still a little bit of eco denied right there. Northern side, double Kadachi Blades. Moving in to those Venoms. 3 Venoms, 2 Blitz. Blitz are, however, a lot more tanky, so are harder to stun. and are just like, well, more expensive as well, so generally a bit stronger. Heavily damaged venoms already, so yeah, unlikely for those venoms to really do anything. Here though, unlikely for them to do anything. Well, venoms can move in just 2 cadetches, but if you run, you lose your eco, so they can't really retreat like they would like to. Now the venoms are actually the one retreating a little bit, cleaning up max 1, cleaning up max 2, with only a little bit of damage dealt to those venoms. Here, Lotus is now up, Commander upgraded as well. And AoE from Venom is able to stun both of the cadetches, but hey. Last Venom, like, well, except for this one of course, is now running out, Commander helping out. And all in all, a pretty okay-ish fight for both players. Losing out on eco though, that's the main thing. Yet, well, eco still good enough for Hjkia because Izirayd is still not able to go onto the northern side. So yeah, you've lost this for a while. You'll rebuild, you'll get it back. But Izirayd has to focus all of their efforts down south, or already linking up with Overdrive and all that. Even though you really don't want to be doing that yet. If you've still got like 6 maxes, 8 maxes that you should be getting. But yeah, they were just not able to do that, because things were just denying it the entire time. Here, Ogre moving in, could just move in, and once again deny eco. But of course, it's not good to do that, because then you would get trapped by, well, Redback, Venom, all that, and you get cleaned up quite easily. Couple of Venoms easily counter Ogre, just stun it, and then you get it down very quickly. Stun on each of these Venoms, 400 per shot. Not sure what the DPS is on that. 353, so yeah, quite good as well. Just a couple of them surrounding the Ogre will clean it up. Ogre though, very strong unit on its own. It's a riot, but it's almost as, not almost as tanky as some assaults, but I mean, it's kind of close. 2300 for Ravager. So even though it is a riot, it's able to just soak a bit of damage from a Lotus and all that. But hey, one Ogre goes down, the other one almost goes down. So we'll have to heal it back up. And by now, the northern side seems pretty secure for Izirayd. Meaning that they will be able to get all of the eco. And then, if you already have that overdrive anyways, you'll storm ahead in your eco like that. Geothermal also not it's actually constructed. Such a shame. I mean, I guess they focused on a Lotus Forest between the trees because, yeah, they were just too afraid of all of those Venoms moving in. And if you were going to lose it anyways, better not to finish it. And it seems like it is somewhat working out. I mean, are able to like have their welder soak a little bit of damage, though with none of the Lotus being in range, these Venoms were just idle, or at least not being shot at. So yeah, still 6 Venoms are there. Triple Ogre though, moving in on the southern side. Commander also moved into by Ogre and Commander. So yeah, Geothermal, although it didn't go down, still needs to be finished. Should be doing that quite shortly. And 1,500 reclaim. There's a lot of reclaim for Hjkia to get, which should give them very good eco. Also, still very even attrition. And with a riot versus an assault, you would assume, yeah, the riot would be doing a good job, especially with AoE riot. But no. Takes down a couple of hermits. But hermits were spread out enough that the AoE didn't really matter. Moving into the base, Minotaur will be up as well. Has some slow projectiles for on its own. Not ideal, but hey, does deal good damage. So 1 Venom Hermit already gone. Kadechi now moving in as well. A lot better solution against an assault like that. Next Hermit, not cleaned up yet. Come on, come on. Yep, nicely done Lotus. And the last Hermit on that side will shortly get cleaned up. Over here now, double Minotaur, triple Minotaur. Ogre this is. The one that says get out of my Fallen Dell swamp. Yeah. Amazing against Flea, assuming Flea is bunched up a little bit. But yeah, with now the north secured as well, and some quite nice wind as well, Izirayd 50 plus eco, 14 overdrive. Whereas on the other side, well, not yet reclaiming, but also will not be reclaiming, at least not anytime soon. Caretaker is actually. But will be finishing off geothermal in the future as well. Still has some pretty good tank numbers, right? Triple Minotaur, triple Ogre, is not bad. And over here, well, Kadechi, if it is able to burn the fleas, they all die. 43 DPS on the ground burn, I'm pretty sure. Which means that you kill a flea per second. And they, if they're chasing you, have to run through it. Which means that they cannot touch you. Over here though, very scary army. Not that very scary army. This though, like, oh, there is so much value over here. How much? 3600 value, just there. Izirayd also has the geothermal constructed by now and also has switched into tanks. I know that like the tanks or like the factory switch, I was already told was not a very good idea. But going into the same factory as your opponent generally puts you behind. Especially because you sell off your original. It makes the investment a little bit less, right? You don't have to, it doesn't cost you as much. But now your triple Minotaur, there's a triple Minotaur, triple Ogre and triple Kadechi. Yeah, Sure. You've got good eco. You've got 200 energy. Is that enough to, well, get you through the transitionary period? I think it will be, just because Hjkia is seemingly going the wrong way. This army should be able to counter just 4 Minotaurs without any issues. So if you were able to kill the base, that might have been able to do a lot more damage than just sit over here and run into Lotus Forest. Right? Still though, Minotaurs, only 3 of them left for Izirayd right now. That makes 2, and you're running through. Geothermal shortly to be cleaned up. Already disrupting overdrive grid. And the geothermal is gone. Your HP still looking good as long as they don't really focus on 1 Minotaur. You're even going to keep all of them alive. Next force, well, more Kadechis, nice to raid this area with. And another 2 ogres versus 2 ogres from the enemy. So again, going into the factory your enemy already has generally puts you behind. But it's not a bad factory, and with Cyclops now being out, because you just have the eco to pump it out like that, 2200 value, and you build it as if it's nothing, yeah, good chance you will be able to hold on. This still is something they cannot really push into, there's just so much value there. Triple Ferritate to stun anything that gets close. They're just going to need an emissary or something like that. But hey, that's fine. I'm a little surprised you didn't get the max, but I guess, yeah, it's in range of the Stinger, so okay, then it does make sense. And now, 200, 250, 400, still quite a good amount of reclaim, still a couple of maxes you can be getting. And up north, the enemy is not really moving in, they are morphing their geo. Nice to get your eco up in the future, there it goes, 65 eco becomes 165. And all of a sudden, your overdrive shoots up to 17 per second. Enemy overdrive was of course way reduced, but now fusion is almost up as well. You have to rely on your Cyclops. That's going to be, well, either the game winning or the game losing. Welders to repair it, because once again, your numbers are not looking as good as the enemy's numbers. Just like 4 ogre, 4 Minotaurs versus 5. 0 Ogres versus 7. And 1 Cyclops versus 0. So yes, Cyclops is the only thing you really have over your enemy. However, I don't see the Ogre. I don't see the Cyclops. Come on now. Can we at least call the things by what they're called? Thank you. Call them by their names. Yes. Next Cyclops coming out. 4 minutes. That's a bit too long. How much is it really? 10 seconds? Stingers coming up. Stardust coming up. Pushing out the Cyclops last second. Welders all being cleaned up. And now if the factory goes down, the Cyclops is gone as well. Cyclops, goodbye. Because even if you do go up, you're so low HP already. But you don't even go up. Factory gone. No defenses. Fusion should be cleaned up. Eco should be cleaned up. And how is Izirayd ever going to come back from this? That's the question, right? I mean, Rovers, why not? That's something you haven't tried yet. I mean, by now, 200% attrition. Tank is definitely one of the ultimate attrition factories, right? Normally. Because if they go, if they are hurt, you can just retreat them and heal them back up. But yeah, 85 versus 30 metal. Look at how it swung. You were ahead, it was kind of even, you were ahead a little bit, and all of a sudden, a boom. Army value was always bad. Yeah, you've got a pork fortress down south. And you had good eco. But is it going to work? I mean, dominatrix. If it's not their unit, but your unit, it's 2 for 1. Kill 1, get 1 free, effectively. What's there? It's Hjkia. Yeah, that's a very nice overdrive. Good job. And hey, 30, 40 eco. Still not that bad. Can definitely push out some units quite quickly. But how long will you keep that eco up? It's only 24 now. Commander is doing something else. And you only have 1 unit to show for it for now. 2100 invested into those dominatrix. You've got a Lotus, you've got a single Blitz. But the thing is, next Blitz, alright, nice. You do counter, Minotaur and Ogre with it. You don't counter Kodachi. Or Welder even, for that matter. Right, I mean they can move these Welders in and just kill them, I'm pretty sure. I don't think that's too far-fetched. Down south, Ravages, nicely done. Cleaning up a little bit of a stinger. Will allow you to get up that max in the future. So, still, 200% attrition. How would you ever come back from this? Army value, let's just look at it for 1 second. 14,000, almost 15,000 versus 2,500. There's no way, right? The enemy is getting all of the reclaim. 3,000 reclaim. Has all of the eco. 70, 80 eco. Versus your 16. But you have the dominatrix. The one and only tank counter. Except for, well yeah, Kodachi, because Kodachis are too cheap. And there goes. Izirayd gives up. Hjkia wins.